to show you how to make gluten-free pie crust. It works well with quiches, it works well with pies, anything you want to bake. This is such a nice crust and it's really not that hard to make. So just click on here and it'll bring you to my blog, Be More Energy, where you can find out the recipe for the dough and for the apple pie ingredients. The first thing you do is combine 3 2/3 cups of gluten-free flour, a half a teaspoon of xanthan gum, and 1/3 cup of confectioner's sugar. You'll also need 1 stick of butter or margarine, 1 egg, and a half cup of milk or almond milk. Get ready for messy! The next step is to add 1 stick of butter to the dry ingredients. I used butter-flavored Crisco, a vegetable shortening, which is perfect for someone with a dairy allergy or a par meal. The recipe says to rub the butter with your fingertips until the mixture resembles fine breadcrumbs. I wash my hands really well and I'm pinching the shortening into the mixture. Next, I'll need to add 1 egg and a half a cup of milk. Instead of milk, I used almond milk. Blend 1 egg and a half a cup of almond milk into the dough. Continue mixing until you get a really nice pastry dough. Here's what it looks like. Pat your pastry dough into a ball, wrap it in saran wrap or put it in a plastic container and let it cool in the fridge for about 20 minutes. Once you take your dough ball out of the refrigerator, divide it in half, and you're going to make 2 different dough balls, one for the top and one for the bottom. You're ready to roll out your dough. I found the best way to work with the gluten-free pastry dough is to sandwich it between 2 layers of wax paper. Roll out the dough to the thickness you want. I tried to keep it about a ½ inch thick. To get the pastry dough into the bottom of the pie dish, I just picked it up with the wax paper and flipped it upside down right over the center of the dish. Then I peeled the wax paper off the pastry dough and it sunk right into the dish. Now I'm ready to add the apple mixture to the pie dish. It's apples, sugar, cinnamon, nutmeg, a dash of salt, and a little bit of lemon juice. I took the second piece of rolled out dough and flipped it over the dish to form the top of the pie. Now it's time to connect the top and the bottom of the pie dough. I like to start with the bottom dough and fold it over the top. That brings the crust slightly away from the baking dish, making it easier to serve. If there's too much dough, I tear it off and use it for decoration. Here I have to fold the top over the bottom and then blend the edges together. Look how pretty the gluten-free apple pie came out. So I had put the top on the bottom, crimped the edges, put the egg wash, brushed it with the egg wash, and sprinkled some cinnamon sugar, a little bit of the gold flakes, and I had a little bit of the gluten-free dough left over, so I used a teapot cookie cutter. Here's the teapot. And I cut out a teapot, and I sprinkled some red sugar on top of it. And it looks really, really pretty. And I'm going to bake it now at 350 degrees for about 40 minutes. Okay, we'll see what it looks like when it's done. Thanks for watching.